Alright everyone, it's time for the next garden update. Probably a fairly short one here because a lot of it was non-planting work that I did in the last few days. You can see there are new beds now. They're not 100% finished, but they're almost. There's a bed here. This one needs to be filled in with the rest of the stuff. And there's going to be this huge one here. It's about 4 feet wide and I don't remember how many feet long. There's lots of stuff coming up because, it's sort of a slightly late spring, so everything is trying to compensate at the moment. The wormwood came up, there are all sorts of horseradish plants. I'm still going to do some filling in this area that's a little bit more low-lying. And there's still a lot of other perennials that'll be coming up. There are irises, see there. There are lilies of various kinds in here. I think there are 2 different types. One of the oriental poppy plants actually came back as well. That's been surviving that one continuously for a very, very long time. See, what I did here is, and I've put the stakes up, as you can see, for the fence. What I've done here is I've literally just used layers of hay on the outside. There was already that cocoa shell material, which should, keep a lot of the weeds down immediately near the border, but I wanted to expand it. And the idea is this is mostly for just walking. Like, I don't need to get equipment back here per se. I can always open up the fence if I need to. And I still haven't seen the asparagus sprouting up. It hasn't come back quite yet, but that's not a huge surprise. I think that comes a little bit later. Probably the soil temperature isn't quite warm enough in there. I've got to do some cleaning out. I got into there, but the thing is, I need to probably expand this in and curve it around so that I can get towards the middle there, because then this whole area I can actually plant things. Right now it would just sort of be fallow, I guess, in the middle, and I can do that. I could put in more hostas and have a little shady area in there. I haven't really decided yet which one I want to do. This area had not quite completely compost at it. That's starting to rot down really well, but it's a huge garden expansion. It's a lot bigger than it was, even though it technically looks a little bit smaller. It's probably more efficient too, because this is all one gigantic bed. It's going to be quite nice. And so in here you can sort of just, relax or whatever in among the plants. This path, this area is a little bit wider than most of the others. Specifically this one, I needed to be able to get the wheelbarrow in to this general area, at least to get it that far in, because where the gate will be is right about here. And by gate I mean it'll be something jerry-rigged basically. I'm not gonna, go fully pro, but all of these bricks here actually were, for the most part, I got 30 more, and that was exactly what I needed. Actually, I got 6 left over, which is funny. They were the bricks that were in here. I was gonna raise this up further, but then I'm like, well, this area is already raised enough. It's already productive enough. I'm not having any problems with drainage or anything. Why do I exactly need to do that? And so I decided, instead of getting wood for bordering the new beds, I would just use brick. And so that'll do fine. But I'm going to be adding another couple bags of garden soil, 1 to each of these. Those will be basically done. Then I've got, I'm going to use a mix of compost and manure and topsoil for this, actually. And usually I don't use topsoil. It's kind of filler, but it's cheaper. And it's not going to make a huge difference. And then here, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to use to fill this, because if it were straight garden soil, it'd cost quite a bit. And if it's like pure manure, some plants don't really like that as much. This will probably be for hot weather crops. I'm thinking this one won't be planted for a couple more weeks, and so it'll be that. You can put some, pre-started cold weather stuff in, but I think I'm going to put I'm going to have some cabbage in here. Probably, like in the middle. On the sides, I'm thinking carrots maybe, or beets. And of course, I want my collards. I'm thinking I'll probably fill this with the collards. And more cold weather crops can go in there, and also in here. But I'm thinking it'd be nice to have, just a couple of tomato plants and not much else in here. Maybe a few carrots, because carrots love tomatoes. Like, it's a good book, by the way. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Things are starting to just green up. You've got some lilac blossoms coming through. The peach tree will be, doing its thing soon. I'm not sure whether it will give us any peaches this year. I'm thinking the answer is probably no after this winter. But you always hope. And I've already bought the first few herbs that I needed. I needed dill, oregano, some of the stuff that didn't really come back in here. But the chives, right now it's the garden centerpiece. That's about all. Peace out.